Here to talk to the freedom seekers today. I am here to talk to the people who have that restless spirit, the people who really want to be out, seeing the world, being immersed in different cultures, whether you have traveled a lot already, whether you have not traveled at all. And I'm talking internationally, by the way. I'm here to really speak to the people who want to feel a shift, right? Like a shift from within, because I feel like a lot of times whenever we look at travel, like we take all these great photos and videos and, we do these fun things and we're like snorkeling with turtles, or we're standing in front of the Egyptian pyramid, or taking a selfie in front of the Eiffel Tower. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of these things. I've done all of those things and they are incredible and they're all experiences that I will forever cherish. But I really want to talk about how travel changes you from the inside out, because I do feel like there's not a lot of people talking about this. A lot of people just kind of talk about travel like, oh yeah, like travel is cool. And you go all these places, and yes, it is, but there's something else that happens inside of a human who sees the world. Like when you are someone who gets out of the area, place, wherever it is that you're used to being in, like there's something spiritual that happens inside of you. And that's something that I want to talk about today. And welcome y'all. Welcome those of you who are joining in. Can we go ahead and get some hearts on the screen? Pretty please. Do not forget to double tap, whether you are just popping in to lurk for a little bit or whether you plan on hanging out with me. Please remember to double tap the screen. Hello, Villiers Valley. And if you know somebody who wants to travel, if you know somebody who loves to travel, if you know somebody you would like to travel with, make sure you hit that share button as well. I really appreciate the hearts. I appreciate the likes, the shares, the gifts. I appreciate all the love that you all show. I honestly do. Thank y'all for showing up. For those of you who are brand new here, if you have never seen me on live before, you can drop a number 1 for me in the comments. I always like to give anyone new a warm welcome. If you have been rocking with me, if you're not new to this, but you are true to this, you can drop a number 2 for me in the comments. I'm excited about today's topic because it's something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while now. And as someone who's been a content creator for a while, it's so easy to get caught up in what you should be posting. It's so easy to always be trying to find like the trends. And what I'm learning about myself is a lot of times whenever I get caught up in those things, it's harder for me to be consistent. It's easier for me to show up whenever I can really speak about what's on my heart. So for those of you who've been going live with me, who have been joining my lives, I should say, for a while, if you continue to join, you will probably see a little bit of a shift. I am still going to, be dropping travel gems and all of that, but I'm going to be talking a lot more about, just more specific topics that I really want to put out into the world. So I really appreciate all the love, all the support. Thank y'all again for the hearts. Thank you for double tapping. And yeah, we can go ahead and get into it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep this light on because it's hot. Matter of fact, let me see if maybe my fan is enough. If my fan is not enough, then we might have to just turn this light off. It's like one of those lights. We actually in our apartment in Columbia, we had this like super, super cute lighting fixture thing, but it just makes it so hot. That's the problem. So now I'm trying to bust out my fan here. Trying to bust out the fan that I keep in my purse, hopefully without breaking a nail. And we're going to see if this is enough to keep me cool. Thank y'all for the hearts and the shares. Please continue to double tap. I appreciate it. Oh, and I'll share a little bit about me. But in the meantime, let me know what countries are on your travel bucket list. Where is it that y'all want to go? Drop in the comments and let me know if y'all have any specific places that are on your travel list, anywhere that you want to go in particular. I am always curious. If you are new here, don't forget to drop a number 1 for me in the comments. And yeah, if you have any travel questions, I'll always answer whatever I can. If I don't know, I'm gonna just tell you I don't know. But yeah, if you have any questions about travel, you can also drop them in the comments. But I am going to go ahead and dive into the list of the 5 ways that travel changes you, because we're on a time crunch today. I have a call in like 43 minutes. So I want to make sure that I get through these. I don't know what those cats are back there doing. This is not my house. I'm currently doing a house sit, by the way. It's probably the easiest house sit I've ever done. I am a dog person, but cats are so easy. Cats are so easy. I want to say they're almost converting me, but they're not. By the way, can y'all still hear me okay? Or is that fan too loud? Because like I can hear it, but let me know if y'all can hear that kind of buzzing in the background. And please don't forget to double tap, y'all, while you are sitting in here watching. Please double tap the screen. It really means the world. It makes a big difference to us creators out here who are constantly trying to be pushed out to the FYP. Us creators is always out here fighting the algorithm. Please don't forget to double tap. Remember, IG is for lurkers and TikTok is for lovers. Okay. Thank y'all for the love. Okay. So, and thank you for confirming the fan is all good. Perfect. All right. So then let me go ahead and dive in. So 5 ways travel changes you as a human, starting with number 1. When you travel the world, you start to have a global mindset. The thing about living in the United States, the thing about growing up in the United States is most of us are taught that the US is the only country and the best country. And the news and media will have us thinking that travel is so dangerous. And I know this for a fact because the amount of people that ask me, is it safe? Is it safe? Am I safe? Like even if you look up searches, the amount of people that are constantly searching, is travel safe? Shows you that in the US, we are constantly taught that the US is so safe and other countries are dangerous, which is ludicrous. The United States is literally on the travel advisory list for literally warning other countries to be careful whenever you come here. So just pay attention to like the thoughts and emotions and the propaganda that is happening in the United States. It has been happening for a long time, right? And I'm not saying that there are not great things about the United States. Of course there are. Of course, there are great things about the United States, but there are a ton of other great things about the other 190 something countries out there. Like, don't be fooled into thinking that the US is the best country in the world. Figure it out for yourself. Okay? Learn for yourself. What is the best country for you? Because maybe it's the US, but maybe it's not. These cats are doing the most over here right now. But anyways, the world is so big, okay? The world is so big. The world is too big for you to just be staying in one spot. The world is too big for you to be listening to somebody else tell you about how dangerous another place is, and they don't even have a passport. They don't even have a passport, okay? Y'all, my mom just got her passport, her first passport. So grateful, so excited. And she is planning on coming to Colombia this year. And she was telling me and my sister that, there's just one of it. Oh, that made me laugh. My mom was telling me and my sister that whenever she was telling a neighbor that she was coming to Colombia, they were like, oh, well, you know, Colombia is like so dangerous. And y'all, I'm so proud of my mama because she was like, she basically told them, she was like, oh, I'm not even listening to this because I already know my daughter not gonna have me going nowhere. That's too dangerous. And I was like, period, mama, you know I got your back. Like, these people out here talking about how dangerous these countries are, they ain't even been nowhere. Literally, they haven't been anywhere. Like, why are you listening to them? Like, it doesn't make sense. My passport has been received by the State Department. Yes! Oh my God, y'all, I got my email this morning that my new passport is officially approved. I am lit, okay? I am lit. Now, the tricky thing is, when it's gonna get here though, because I might be leaving the US in like less than 2 weeks, and now I'm like, and there was a little line there that was like, if you're traveling in the next 2 weeks, reach out to this number. And I'm like, I might need to reach out to that number because yeah, I'm gonna need my passport to be here in like the next 7 days. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I renewed my passport online a few days ago, just to give y'all a few days ago. This was like almost 2 weeks ago, just to give y'all some context. And I did just find out that my new passport is approved, and I'm so excited. My friend was telling me about someone random pulling a pew-pew on him while he was walking alone. I mean, honestly, you know I have no issues believing that. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like there's not crime in other countries. Of course there is crime in other countries, but educate yourself. Do your research. And also understand the word crime and understand what that looks like. For example, I travel a lot in Latin America, and there are some countries where, or not even, I shouldn't say countries, there are some cities where you go and, or like there are some cities where when I travel, I'm very vigilant about like my cell phone. Like I'm not walking out with my phone in my hand because you know what? Somebody might snatch it. Somebody might snatch it and run. Like there are a lot of places I've been where petty crime is very common. And I'll be honest, as somebody who had lived in the US for pretty much my entire life up until I left last year, when I first traveled to Latin America, like travel in 2019, and I first heard about this, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I was a little freaked out because I had never been in a world where I had to worry about somebody snatching my phone. Now, keep in mind, I'm born and raised in North Carolina, right? So some of y'all who are maybe in like New York or somewhere, you might be like, oh yeah, that's normal. But for me, that wasn't normal back then. But now, like, that's not that big of a deal to me. Because I look at it from the perspective of, okay, somebody might snatch my phone, but I'm not going to be pew-pewed just because I'm black. Like, no one is going to walk into a movie theater and just start taking lives because they're having a bad day or because they have some deeply rooted issues that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. So you also have to ask yourself, whenever it comes to, crime, what is it that you're really afraid of? Because calling the United States safe, especially if you are a person of color, it's a stretch, y'all. Okay, it's a stretch. So anyway, oh my God, that light just like, okay, let me see. Oops, hold on, y'all. Let me fix my tripod. I feel like 10% of every live I get on these days is like some kind of version of me trying to fix my damn tripod light. And I swear, y'all, I got a new one. Ex-blackly. Petty crime is whatever. And listen, and it all does make a difference. I'll be honest. Like, even being in Merida, Mexico, thank y'all for the hearts, by the way. Even being in Merida, Mexico, I'll be very honest with you. Like, I love Medellin, Colombia, but being in Merida, which is the safest city in Mexico, the second safest city in Latin America, and not even having to worry about my phone, I'm not gonna lie to you, it changed my perspective a little bit. I was like, damn. Like, I can pull out my phone anytime here and it's not a big deal. Versus whenever I'm in Medellin, like, there were certain parts of Medellin that I love, but like, y'all ain't gonna never get to see it from me. Y'all not gonna get to see it unless you travel there because I'm not pulling my phone out. And it's not even a sense of like, oh, it's so dangerous. It's just like, if I go to like the Centro area in Medellin, Colombia, I'm not gonna pull my phone out. Versus Centro in Merida, Mexico, like, I'll pull my phone out without even thinking about it. But anyways, the point is that in terms of like how travel changes you, you start to have more of a global mindset. You start to see the world as actually the world. You learn that the sun does not rise and set on the ass of the United States. And that's how most of us are raised. In the US, we are very self-centered. It's a very individualistic culture, society. And when you travel, you really start to see the world as this massive place with a ton of people in it. It literally makes you more empathetic. And I'll be very honest with y'all, empathy was never my strong suit, okay? Empathy was not something that was really high on my character list until I started traveling. I can remember whenever I was working at this company and COVID hit, right? And y'all can be honest. I don't know. Y'all can lie or deny. Drop the word yes in the comments if y'all want to be real about it. Because you know, you hear about something happening in another part of the world and you're like, oh, that's sad, but it really got nothing to do with me. Okay? Like, I remember having this mindset, but now I think differently. Whenever I was at this company and COVID hit, y'all, the company that I was at, most of the people lived in Asia. So whenever shit was hitting the fan in China, I was realizing, wow, this is happening to people I know. I work with people who live in China. These people who I was talking to on the phone last week, they now are trying to evacuate their homes. They're now sick. They have relatives that are sick. They are, a lot of us were in panic mode, right? But obviously in China, like where it all started, you can only imagine. This is a perspective I wouldn't have even had if I wasn't close to someone across the world. So at the end of the day, yes, traveling does give you more empathy, but it can also be something as small as having international people in your life to give you an understanding. I have a friend who was born in a country in kind of like northern Africa. It's called Eritrea. And, she had a son recently and we were talking and she was saying how like it really sucks that her country is not safe right now. Like she wants to take her child there so he can see where he came from. But right now, it's not a good time. And you know what? That might change in the next 10, 20 years. I don't know if any of you watched the Vietnam War documentary on Netflix. I haven't even finished it, but just the first episode, y'all, I'm telling you, that thing had me like, there's so much I didn't know. And to be watching this as somebody who was in Vietnam for a month last year, like my jaw was on the floor. Now, I'm 32, just to give you some reference. So of course, I've heard of the war, but it's not like, and I'm not like a history buff. Like in general, that's not who I am. So again, like I heard about it. Of course, like I know things about it, but I realize now I don't really know anything about a lot of the wars that have happened. And that's something that I'm more interested in now because of travel. This is actually a conversation my husband and I were having recently. I realized that as somebody who grew up never being interested in history, I am so much more interested in history. I am a smarter human being because I travel. I literally have a more global mindset, a more global perspective, just for the simple fact that I have been in more places around the world. Versus these people out here who ain't been nowhere but Miami, Atlanta, and Cancun. And they over here trying to give all this advice. They're over here trying to tell you about life and, whatever. Like, come on. Come on. Like, when you start traveling, you literally become a global human being, and it changes you. It changes you when you see the world as a place with billions, maybe trillions, I don't know, of humans all over the other side of the planet. Y'all, I'm not even just talking about Mexico and Costa Rica. I'm talking about Asia. I'm talking about New Zealand. I'm talking about Australia. Y'all, there are people all over this world, okay? While he was in college, in my travels, hello. I'm actually doing a house sit right now, funny enough. And I have another one coming up this month. I'm thankful for being a military brat. I mean, listen, you have to be grateful for these things because you don't know what you don't know. Thank y'all for the hearts, by the way. The second thing for how travel changes you as a person, travel makes you so much more open-minded. Drop the word yes in the comments if you cannot stand being around closed-minded people. I can put my own yes in the comments. 3 weeks in London, period. Well, you've been in London before. You must really like London. London is definitely a place that I would like to do a house sit. I see a lot of house sits in the UK, but I don't know if I've seen a lot of them specifically in London. Like, are you actually in London or are you like a place near London? Because I do feel like I see a lot in the UK. I haven't really looked just because like we haven't been super interested in Europe lately, but I would love to do a house sit in London. I just got for Maui. It was quite the ordeal. Yes, Maui. I've never been to Hawaii, but I hear it looks beautiful. But yeah, whenever you travel, you become more open-minded. There's so many people out there. I mean, I'm literally talking about people who won't even like try a certain food. And y'all, I'm trying to be humble, okay? I'm trying to be humble. I'm willing to be humble, okay? I grew up very close-minded around food. I grew up like eating shit that you eat whenever you're in a lower middle class home that struggles for money. Like I didn't eat when I tell you, when I started, and y'all, this is something like, this is not a sexy topic, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When I started hanging out with more white people, my food palette expanded tremendously, okay? Tremendously. When I started working in corporate America, I started going to the corporate lunches and the corporate dinners. Y'all, I can remember my boss at the time looking at me like I was crazy because I had never eaten Brussels sprouts. We didn't eat Brussels sprouts in my house growing up. Like it was something I heard, like I vaguely knew what it was, but I never even thought about it. I'm sorry. Chris said I grew up eating heart attack food. Chris, we have that in common, okay? So house sitting is a thing. Cakes, 100. I'm doing a house sit right now. This is not my house. I'm like, I'm so scared to move this tripod because he's messing up. I really wanted to show you this cat over here. Like, this ain't my cat. This is not my house. House sitting is 100% real. I do have, for anybody who's interested in trusted house sitters, I have more videos on my page. I have longer, more in-depth trusted house sitter videos on my YouTube channel. And I also have a promo code for you at the link in my bio. You can get 25% off the annual fee. So yeah, house sitting, 10 out of 10. If you love pets, and they do have some house sits that don't come with animals, but I always tell people, that's more of like the exception and not the rule. So me personally, I don't know if I would sign up if I hated pets, but you know, at the end of the day, it's $100 a year. So there's that. Only in London, there are tons now. Set those notifications. I really should. I got notifications for like all the places in Latin America. Tastes like cabbage. It does kind of taste like cabbage. Matter of fact, it is. They're literally like baby cabbage. I love Brussels sprouts now, for the record. I'm from the deep, deep, deep South. Fried chicken and mac and cheese equals heart attack. Man, listen, I had some fried chicken and macaroni and cheese last week. I'm gonna tell you, like, and I eat a lot healthier than I used to, but baby, I don't know if there will ever be a day that I don't eat fried chicken and macaroni and cheese and collard greens and cornbread. Stop, baby. Hey, down. See, this is why I can't have a cat, because I can't deal with animals on the counters, because I just be like, so y'all just gonna put y'all on pause where I put my food? Like, I can't do that. Now I'm in somebody else's house, so it is what it is. But yeah, there's a house sit in France for 4 months and no pets. Currently, right now? Wow. I only do luxury house sits in London, period. Oh yeah, no, the house has to look pristine. There's some shit I'm not even like, if those photos, if your house don't look like spick and span, I'm not applying, because I'm not with the shits, okay? I am not at all. But let me keep going, because I still got more for y'all. Thank y'all so much for double tapping. When you travel, you are more willing to try new foods. You're more willing to try new experiences. You're more willing to get out of your comfort zone. Y'all know these people who are out here talking about being addicted to travel. People are not addicted to travel, because travel literally is shit like going to the airport. Don't nobody like going to the airport? Well, maybe some people do. I'm over it. Listen, I love traveling, but if I never had to see another airport, I'd be cool. But how I'm gonna do that, right? That's obviously not feasible. No one is addicted to travel. People are addicted to who they are when they travel. People are addicted to the experiences they have. People are addicted to the freedom that they feel whenever they don't have their boss looking over their shoulder, whenever they are in a place where they're not feeling judged. The only reason people have these sayings, whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, whatever happens in Cancun stays in Cancun. People have these sayings because people go places and they get buck wild. And I'm not saying, listen, and buck wild can mean a lot of different things. I'm not here to get in your business. I'm just here to let you know people are not addicted to travel. People are addicted to the feeling of being free. People are addicted to the feeling of being out of their comfort zone and being in a place where they are surrounded by people who don't know them, so they can really take off that armor that we have to wear every fucking day whenever we're just in our own culture, okay? I'm trying to stop cussing on these lives, because I be cutting these clips up to post later, and then like, y'all, it took me so long to edit this video yesterday because I was trying to bleep out, because I said shit twice and I said fuck once, and I was like, Bianca, if you just stop cussing in the lives, then you ain't got to worry about this. So y'all help hold me accountable. It's hard, okay? It's hard, but progress is progress, okay? It doesn't seem like I made a lot of progress in this live so far, but trust me, I have. But yeah, people are addicted to having these incredible experiences that change them from the inside out. Because if you don't travel, you are more than likely living your life on autopilot. Drop a number 1 in the comments if sometimes you feel like you're living your life on autopilot. All you do is work, pay bills. You feel like your life is a series of working, paying bills until you expire. Like you want to be social, but you're so exhausted from working so much, because that's the culture here, right? You live to work. That's the culture here. You spend all day looking at a screen, then you can't wait to get off work and go look at another screen. Look, think about y'all start paying attention. This is something I did not start seeing until I started traveling. Start paying attention to a lot of the memes. Start paying attention to the trauma bonding. Start paying attention to the types of content that people post that gets shared over and over again. Whenever people talk about, all I want to do is lie in bed all day and watch Netflix. Y'all, that's not normal. We should not. Now, I'm not saying that like having those days every once in a while is a bad thing. But y'all, in general, we should not want to spend our lives zoned out. We should not want to spend most of our lives drunk. We should not want to spend most of our lives high. Y'all, this is not supposed to be normal. You should be living your life right now. And when people try to come into my life talking about retirement, I'm like, I'm not even listening. I don't care about retirement. What are you talking about? I don't even know if I'm going to make it to retirement. What? I'm living my life right now. I am living my life right now. And these things are so hard to see when you don't travel. These things are so hard to see when you're only in your bubble. You going to the same job, you talk to the same people, you doing the same, see, I almost said same shit. You're doing the same things all day, every day, and you wonder why your life feels boring. You wonder why your life feels monotonous. Y'all, people out here barely even have hobbies these days. You out here working multiple jobs to survive. Y'all, we should not be living in survival mode. Life is meant for living. Living, okay? Thriving, not surviving. And I would not know these things if I did not take my black ass to the airport and leave North Carolina, where I was born and raised. I could not tell you these things if I hadn't traveled to 24 different countries, despite growing up black and broke in the United States. Y'all, get out there and see the world. Did y'all just hear that cat meow as soon as I said y'all? Hello, Erica. If you work on Sunday in Finland, you get double pay. That's so interesting. Come on, living now. I mean, honestly, y'all. Oh, hamsters on a wheel. Some people don't want to hear that, y'all. Some people don't want to talk about it. My husband wants to go to Dubai for vacay. What's your thoughts? I've never been, but I'm actually going in November. So I don't know when you want to go, but if you're going after November, I'm happy to share my thoughts. Otherwise, I have no idea. And funny enough, Dubai is not really on my travel list. It's not even really a place I want to go that badly, but I have a brand collaboration. Thank you, God. But yeah, like, I feel like some, like, there are certain places where, like, I think it would be cool to see, but I'm not really trying to pay my own money to go. Like, I'll go if it's convenient. Like London, for example. Like, I would like to go to London, but it's so low on my list. But if I find like a good house in London, I'm like, bet, because I don't have to pay for accommodations. So for Dubai, I'm not gonna be paying for my accommodation. I get 6 free nights in a hotel. So that's why I'm going to Dubai. I've heard really great things about Dubai. But I've also heard that it's like kind of like boring. So I don't know. I feel like, to me, the vibe that I get with Dubai is like, if you love to shop, absolutely. Like, and which for me is not a thing. Like, I'm not the person who travels and shops. That's not my travel style. And then I also feel like Dubai is one of those places where, like, there are very specific things that are popular to do. And once you have done those, unless you are going to be like among the locals, unless you know somebody who can bring you around, I kind of feel like it's one of those like, okay, I did it, but I don't need to go back. But again, I have not been. So ask me after I go, because places do surprise me. She said it's not on her list either. Maybe you need to talk him down. I'm a foodie. I want to experience the culture. I don't even know what they eat in Dubai. I mean, that's Middle East. I do love Middle Eastern food. I need to blow my nose, y'all. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I don't know why. Hold on. Hold on one more time. Okay, I'm back. I'm really hope I'm not getting sick, because I'm like, I feel like I've been more congested lately, but I'm also like in denial, because I'm like, listen, I refuse. Low key, I refuse. Okay. So let me go to number 3. How is it? It's already 10:42. Okay, let me go on number 3. When you, oh, hold on, wait. Let me fix that again. Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay, we're good. I was like, why can't I see myself? Whenever you travel, it really shows you that the world is your oyster. You can go anywhere. You can do anything. There's something about getting on a plane. Y'all, I'm not even kidding. The first time I got on a plane, I was 21 years old. I went to Miami, and I literally remember being in the air and just thinking, how is this even possible? Like, I was mind blown. I was literally mind blown that I was on an airplane, that I was in the clouds. And it may sound silly to some of you, but for somebody who grew up black and broke and didn't know anything about travel, it was such a big deal for me. And this was a 2-hour flight from North Carolina to Miami, Florida. And now, obviously, I've been to other places, and especially after going to, she said I was 4, scared shitless, going to Germany. Why were you? Oh, because you were so young. Yeah, my niece is 11 and she's never been on a plane, and I really wonder like how she's gonna do. And like a lot of people, like I see people traveling with kids, I ain't gonna lie. 50% of me is like, hell no. But then I'm also like, well, Bianca, I don't know. We'll see. Why are you knocking stuff over? Tonks. Y'all, there's a cat here named Tonks from Harry Potter, and she just knocked over the Harry Potter video game that the owner of this house has. I just felt like y'all should know that. Thank y'all for the hearts, by the way. I love flying now. Flying to me, it's just like, it's a means to an end. I don't love it or hate it. Like, I feel like I feel like I have more flying anxiety than I used to have back in the day. But in general, like, it's just, to me, it's just like, we're just getting there. Tonks, why are you messing with the video games? Okay, let me keep going. After going to Asia, I'm telling y'all, I'm like, there is nowhere I can't go. After going to the other side of the planet, I'm like, there is nowhere that I cannot go. The thing about travel is once you start traveling, and again, this is why people say they're addicted. Like once you start traveling, you really start to feel like you can do anything in life, especially when you're going places where you don't speak the language. The culture is completely different. Y'all, culture shock is a good thing. Culture shock is a great thing because that means you're out of your comfort zone. That means you're being stretched as a human. That means you are expanding. You're expanding your mind. You're expanding your spirit whenever you travel, whenever you go to places where you don't know anybody and you don't speak the language and it looks completely different than what you are used to seeing. This is where growth happens. Like if you are someone who is into personal growth, I'm telling you, travel, baby. Travel, baby, because let me hold off because I'm gonna save that for number 5. But I'm telling you, it will literally change you. Hey, May, yes, I did say about the plane from India. For sure, much faster. Will you ever just live in one country? Maybe. But right now, like, I have no desire to do anything permanent. For what? I'm 32, no kids, no pets, no mortgage. Like, as of right now, the world is my oyster. Good question, though. I do get that question a lot. All right, number 4 of how travel changes you as a human. Travel literally shows you what you want and don't want out of life. And let me actually take it a step further. Travel gives you clarity on what you really want and don't want out of life, especially if you slow travel. And if anybody missed the live that I did the other day on slow travel, it's on my YouTube channel, and I talked about like the difference in when you just go somewhere for like a 5-day vacation versus when you stay somewhere for a couple weeks or a month or a couple months and you really have time to get to know the culture. You have time to experience what it's like to live abroad and not just go somewhere to do all the touristy stuff and leave. So whenever you are able to go somewhere and see life in a different way, you see humans interact in a different way. You're not eating the same things. Your routine is different. It shows you what's possible. Y'all, I never even would have thought about a slow life. I would have been like, what you talking about? What is slow living? What does that even mean? And now, as somebody who is a Capricorn moon, type A personality who no longer has an alarm clock in the morning, I'm like, oh, baby, this is the life. This is the life. Just allowing my body to wake me up naturally, easing my way into the day. Everything is not hustle and bustle. I wouldn't have even known this was a thing if I didn't travel. Because being in the United States, we live in a hustle culture. Everything is tied to productivity. Drop the word yes in the comments if you're willing to be honest and say that a lot of times you tie your value to productivity. I literally have done this so many times. I probably still do it sometimes. Think about how often you have heard somebody brag about not using PTO, or the person who gets to the office first and leaves the latest. What do you think you're going to be rewarded at the end of your life because you decided to work harder than everybody else? Listen, my ancestors worked hard their entire lives. I'm here to do it differently. They paved the way so that we could do it differently. And especially, we got internet. We got Wi-Fi. We got AI. What are y'all talking about? What are you talking about? Y'all, travel has taught me so much more about things that I want and things that I don't want. Like I said, I didn't even realize, I did not even realize how much I wanted a life where I didn't have to wake up with an alarm clock until I started traveling, until I left the US to live abroad. I didn't even know I wanted that. Y'all, as somebody who grew up in a town where you were either black, white, or Mexican, I didn't even know. I didn't even know that I wanted to live somewhere where I could walk out of my door and walk to the grocery store. I didn't even know I wanted that until I started traveling. Thank you so much, Tasha. Thank you for the roses. Thank you for the hearts and the gifts. Y'all, I had no idea that it means so much to me to support locals. And it's hard in the US. Let's talk about it. It's hard in the US to support small local businesses because they don't have the resources that these large companies have. And a lot of times that means their prices are more. And will I still go out of my way to support a small business? Yes, I will, because I'm so passionate about entrepreneurship and I'm so passionate about helping other people who are out here trying to make a living on their own. But listen, when I can get it on Amazon for $10 less and free shipping, somebody go judge me. Somebody go judge me. But you know what? Somebody else, you know what I'm talking about. It is hard to support local small business in the US. When I go abroad, it's so much easier for me to do that. And it's taught me how much I really love doing it. It taught me how much I love good food. Oh my God, y'all, the food. I can go on and on all day. I can go on and on. Like when I go to a country, I'm like, let's eat. Sign me up for the food tour. Where is the local that can tell me all the best spots? Y'all, I didn't know how much I wanted to be in a place where I could eat bread and cheese without being bloated. The amount of bread and cheese I ate whenever I was in France and Germany and Netherlands and never got bloated, I was like, what is this? I didn't even know. Y'all, I remember the first place I ever went was Bulgaria. I went there for work in 2015 or 2016. 2016, I went there. It was one of them. I went there for work. That was the first time I ever ate so much food and it felt like I could not get full. Like I was like, what is wrong with my body? Why am I not getting full? I didn't even realize it was because of the poison and the processed shit that's happening in the food in the United States. Y'all, these are things I wouldn't have even known if I didn't travel. The house set that I'm in right now, they got a garden out back. I got content coming, don't worry. They got a garden in the back. I was making a recipe yesterday that required parsley. I went right out back and got some parsley, freshly grown, and put it in my recipe. Y'all, I have personally, because listen, I'm not a gardener. Like I'm not really a DIY girly. That's never really been my personality. But now I'm over here thinking like, wow, that's so cool. They got tomatoes back there. They got jalapenos. They got parsley. They got dill. They got basil. They have these things growing back here. I never even thought about that until now. I never thought about being in a neighborhood where I can actually walk. Now, I struggle with car culture every time I'm back in the United States, having to get in my car and drive everywhere. I miss being able to just walk out my door, go get what I need and come back home. I wouldn't have even known how much I love this if I didn't travel. This is what I mean whenever I say travel shows you a lot more of what you want and what you don't want. My ring light dying is actually crazy. I should have charged it, but I didn't. It is what it is. No, because I don't have to get my laptop, and I'm about to get off here anyway. And the last but not least, okay? Last but not least. Can I? No, I can't. Okay, that's fine. I have one Taco Bell burrito and my stomach puts it at 2 weeks notice. Travel absolutely broadens your mind, 100%, yes. And the last thing, y'all, travel makes you resilient. Travel builds your confidence. I'm shifting a lot of different things in my business, and one of the things I'm going to be doing more often is going on podcasts, and I'm actually seeking out like podcasts on confidence, because I want to go and I want to talk to people about how travel gives you so much more respect for yourself. Travel gives you so much more confidence in yourself, because whenever you go somewhere that you don't know anything about in another country and you come back home, life is a little bit easier. Problems that seemed so big before, they don't seem that big anymore. The things that you start to hear when you start paying attention, the things that you hear people in the US complaining about, you're kind of like, why are like I started realizing as I was living abroad, traveling, and listen, I'm guilty because I've had a lot of these same conversations. I started realizing, listening to US citizens, y'all, we don't have problems. We do not have problems. Most of us do not have problems. Like, if you have your health and if you have shelter, baby, you don't have problems. I'm over here listening to people complain about how their nail lady wasn't at the salon, and I get it because it's annoying, but it's not a real problem. Or like, oh, well, I really want to go to this place, but my friend doesn't want to go, and you're causing all of this drama. Tell her you don't want to go. What are we doing here? We're just addicted to drama. We are literally just addicted to drama. Travel makes you realize how stupid most of the things that we complain about are. Travel makes you realize how much you have if you are able-bodied, if you have a body that can move, if you have a sharp mind, if you can walk and talk, y'all, I'm telling you, I have never been more grateful than I am right now because of how much I have traveled. I could not have known how many other people outside of the United States are suffering in ways that we don't even have to think about. Have you ever considered that there are some countries that can't drink the water? And listen, you might not like tap water in the United States. You might think it tastes nasty, get a filter, whatever. But you can drink it without being sick. Have you ever considered how many countries out there are not able to even drink their water? These are not things I would have considered. Y'all know there are countries out there, they don't even flush the toilet paper. There have been multiple places I've traveled to, I could not flush the toilet paper. And when I first heard about that, I was like, ew, what? Now I'm like, okay, whatever. My attitude has completely changed because I had now seen so many different parts of the world, and I've seen what really matters. The more of the world you see, the more you understand what matters, and the more resilient you become. Because I promise you, baby, listen, I promise you, when you travel, inevitably, something is going to go wrong on your trip. It's going to happen. If you can tell me about any time you took a trip and nothing unexpected happened, listen, I'll give you my budget travel masterclass for free, but you got to convince me that you're not lying. I promise you, whenever you travel, unexpected things happen all the time, and you bounce back. And then you look back and you're like, wow, in the moment, that felt like such a big deal. But in hindsight, no, it's not. In hindsight, this is not a big deal. Y'all, I probably need to do this live again when I have more time, because I did touch on like a lot of these things, but honestly, there's definitely like a lot more that I wanted to say, but I have a call in like 4 minutes, so I have to go. But for those of y'all who are still in here, if you do want to travel and you feel like you don't know where to start, I do have a budget travel masterclass at the link in my bio. And if you feel like travel is too expensive and you cannot afford it, you want to learn the travel hacks for getting the best flight deals, accommodations, how to keep your entire trip under $1,000 total for everything, All of those things are in my budget travel masterclass. For those of you who have never left the US, I do also have a free travel guide in my bio as well. So make sure you check that out. Please also make sure that y'all hit the follow button if you want more. If you like me. If you don't like me, then bye. I mean, if you don't like me, I don't know why you would still be in here. That would be weird. But anyway, yeah, I'm about to get up off of here. But thank y'all so much for joining. I really appreciate y'all. All the hearts, all the gifts, all the love. I appreciate all of it. And yeah, I will catch y'all next time. Bye, y'all.